Well, not that face. Not that face either.
No, I'm
No,
just kidding.
no, no. Stop. You got
Welcome
some white
back.
on your shirt. Is that
Welcome
oh
back
that's
to another Jupiter's Love video from us, Iconic. And that's my lovely wife over there. Nope, there.
yeah. Talk about it, Takina. Well,
I guess y'all didn't know I was bald.
because you're always that's the first time you're always covered up.
Mm-hmm.
What up, guys? So as you can see, today's title is managing jealousy and insecurity and healthy strategies for relationship challenges. And I think this is a good topic for us because we're kind of in this place of learning and growing. And my husband is, um, would you say, learning more about the poly lifestyle? I
Yeah,
guess we both are, but you really are.
I feel like there's always room to learn or whatever. Sorry about that Twitch. I feel like I got hair on me. Um, I feel like I know a lot, and there's still room for growth or whatever. But right now, I'm in a process of trying to trying to figure out, and this is probably just because I'm in the group on Facebook. It's like, why do you have to be bi to be poly for a female? Why
Mm.
does a female have to be bi to be poly? Um, but I did see like recently that there was I'm looking like a crackhead, like, oh my god, Pookie. But there is one female that I seen recently that was straight, but she was like 50, 51 years old, and she let it be known that she was in Georgia and wasn't going nowhere. So if you ain't in state, but everybody else that I'm seeing is like, I'm bi, I'm looking for my wife too, and I'm like, uh, where if it was my wife, she would be looking for her sister. I guess sister wife compared to
Yeah.
wife. But I'm just still trying to understand it.
So let's because this is a perfect topic, and I know we've kind of brushed over it in the past videos of like having
Damn,
trust
look
and
good.
thank you,
Damn.
focus.
I'm trying. I can't look at the screen.
No, okay.
Oh, I'm
Um,
that way there.
so how do we in talking about poly, how do we or what would you say how we've been able to manage jealousy and insecurity with that specifically, and then we can talk about our past and how we managed it in the past compared to how we're dealing with it now, or maybe you can start with how you dealt with it in the past versus now.
The jealousy part, like
Jealousy and insecurity, yeah.
for me on my end, my jealousy was having another man look or lust after you and feeling inadequate because another dude is um looking at you or lusting after you or whatever have you. Um to the point where, again, like, your thing, or not your thing, but what you've told me, even with the serenity prayer, like it helped me, like, um to the point where you all can see her. She looks good. Physically, she got a big booty.
Stop it.
So even those type of attributes, the curves or whatever, you really can't hide it. And I was jealous to the point where I wanted to hide all her beauty because I wanted it to myself. But in hiding all her beauty, is that fair to her? Do she want to live her life like that? And I cannot be the one to stifle her beauty because she got to walk around with her face out. How's she gonna see? Even if you try to cover up the booty, the coat is gonna show the protrudeness of the buttocks, and then it's gonna be summertime and all that stuff. So it's like you really can't hide it, and I cannot change it. I don't want to change it now, but back then I wanted to keep it all to myself, and that shows the insecurity in me, where now it's like I want the world to see her beauty. And just so happen if if that beauty caused guys to lust after her and she was to go, then what is she really for me? Was she really for me? You
Let
know,
me interject in that
go ahead.
because what is that your mind was that your mindset back then, or is that still your mindset? Like, if with what you said, if she was to go, was she for you? Because then I feel like that speaks on insecurity a little bit.
Well, back then I was like, yeah, I didn't want the possibility of you seeing anything better than me. Um, at the time it was like, okay, a dude that got a dude that got money, they got more money than you. If he's lusting after you, seeing you or whatever, catcalling you or whatever, like I didn't want any of that because I was afraid of losing you. The afraid part. When you think about being afraid, you're afraid. Insecurity comes from being afraid of something. And if I'm afraid of losing you, then in the flip side of that, my me being so afraid that I might lose you anyway because I'm trying to confine you in this little box, this little circle where, hell, toxicity can fester and I still lose you. You know what I'm saying? So my mindset now is that I know that I'm good enough for who I am. And I do strive to want to be better, do better, have better, all that stuff. So if you were to go because you found something better, then I can't be mad at you. Because at the end of the day, now I will want you to be happy. So if that made you happy, I can't be mad at that. Did I did I speak on it, or I mean,
Yeah. Questioning yourself.
well, I'm looking at you like
I'm
but
fighting my yawns. I'm sorry.
um, dang, I'm boring. But
No,
no,
it's the
um,
recording.
it's just learning who I am compared to who I was. Who I
And I
was, I wanted you hidden from the world for me because I thought I hit the jackpot, which I did. I did hit the jackpot, but putting you in a box is not letting the sunlight Okay, picture of it like a flower. If I kept it in the shade, it wouldn't grow. So the sunlight needs to help grow you. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, it's like that's a very bad analogy. But yeah, um, a lot of these topics that we talk about is off the dome. So ain't nothing pre-scripted, pre-rehearsed. So understand, I have to allow her to flourish how she wants to flourish. Any stifling of that, you may kill the flower. And you are my rose.
Are you saying that because my hair is red?
Yeah, but I like red, so
I know. Um, so on the flip side of that,
take it away
um,
and then go check.
okay.
All right.
Um, on the flip side of that, I would say for me, I don't think that I really was dealing with jealousy or insecurity until there was a couple incidents of female coworkers because in his field he works with ah of course my AirPods would be going bad. Um in in his field he works with a lot of females and so he um became close with those female coworkers and so that that was kind of an issue for me. Can you hear me okay? Because I had to
Yes.
switch the earpiece.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the only time that I would say that insecurity or jealousy, I guess jealousy and insecurity kind of go hand in hand, but I do want to read the definition for those who are wondering the difference between jealousy and insecurity because it for you being in a relationship it's really so that you know and are aware of your feelings and your emotions and how to fix them.
Bef-
So jealousy,
Hold on, before you read that. Speaking of the females at the job or whatever, being in these poly groups and reading stuff and all that stuff, I'm understanding that that was just stuff like that are is like the connections that human beings kind of strive for, or I don't the con it I don't know how to word it. The connection, like, granted, none of the females I was having sex with or whatever, but it was just the communication part, the connection of the communication, and it was it was good, and it was harmless in my eyes. But I understood at that time where my wife was at. It was like, well, why are you talking about just anything? Why can't you talk to me about it? And it wasn't that I can't talk to her about it. It's just right here, right now. Is we were both at work, so to speak. So you know,
yeah, and we'll touch on that either in this video or maybe in a different video of understanding the different needs when it comes to being in a poly relationship. It's not necessarily about sex. It's about just having someone to talk to or another person, but we'll touch on that
okay,
later. So the definition of jealousy is a complex emotion that can include elements of fear, anger, and sadness. It usually arises when there is a a perceived. Why am I saying perceived? What are you doing? All of a sudden, I see you like your head come towards me from the computer monitor. Um, a perceived threat to a valuable relationship from a rival. This threat can be real or imagined. For example, You might feel jealous if you believe your partner is interested in someone else, even if this is not actually the case. And then insecurity is, on the other hand, refers to a feeling of uncertainty or anxiety about oneself. In the context of a relationship, this could mean doubting your worthiness, fearing that your partner will leave you, or feeling anxious about not being good enough for your partner. In relationships, jealousy and insecurity can often feed off each other. For instance, if you're feeling insecure about your appearance, you might feel jealous if your partner is spending time with someone you perceive as more attractive. So, I don't, I think I was jealous of the conversation in the past. I don't think I was insecure because I feel like I've been pretty confident for the most part. So I don't think it was that. I think it was just you are at work with these people all day. You conversate with them on what I considered at the time deep conversations, like, personal stuff. Um, but we fast forward many years, fast forward. We don't think that way. We have different thoughts. I wouldn't, we're
It
not
don't
in an
don't say
open.
don't say as much as I want the whole we, like, for this we have our individual growth. So just for this particular part, just it's all about you, baby. It's all about you, how you have came
What do
from
you
here to,
mean?
because you said we, you went from you to we.
Well, because I'm saying, like, yeah, you spoke first, I just spoke. And so I'm like, okay, now that we both explained how we were in the past and how we felt in the past, fast forward, we don't have those same mindsets anymore.
Okay, all right,
Does that make sense?
yeah.
Okay. So speaking on that, our biggest spotlight right now, if you want to call it that, is poly. So my husband, in the recent years, I'll say, um, has been pro poly. And so that is definitely, when it comes to trust and jealousy and insecurity, I think, like he was saying, females are saying, oh, you got to be bi to be in a poly. And I'm just like, why? Like, we both went into these poly groups together, and I'm not in them. I'm not in them because it's not for me, but I'm not against it. It's just not for me. So I support my husband. There's no jealousy there. Like, literally, I have pushed him into the poly lifestyle, like, pushed, put up posts, everything. There's no jealousy because
She
at the
didn't.
end of the day,
She did not push.
I
She
pushed.
you. I'll say this. You might think you pushed, but it's like this. I see it like this. Let's say, for instance, there's a door or whatever. I can go through the door. I can open a door, but it helps to have the permission to do so from your spouse.
And it wasn't even permission, it was a support. Like, I supported his choices. If it means for him to be happy, then I support that. And he, on the flip side, has said the same to me. We both given, because we're confident in our relationship. We know that we're not going anywhere. We are lock solid. Like, I even looked at our zodiac charts and I'm like, good God, we have a lot the same. Like, it's crazy. But that's a whole nother subject. But I support his happiness. And in turn, that was loud. In turn, he supports my happiness. So we've both given each other the opportunity, whatever makes you happy. We're not going anywhere. But if you choose to do other things, that make you happy. If I choose to, I don't have anything right. Well, here we go. If I choose to, I made this jar, right? A resin jar. I made this for my husband, favorite colors. Um, but if I choose to make a million of those because it makes me happy, within reason, without putting us in danger or financial hardship, if he supports what makes me happy. So if I want to make jars or rhinestone pictures, then he supports that for me to be happy. If I choose to be poly as well, he's saying he supports it. I'm just like, yeah, okay. But
Well,
that's
I
just
mean, and by you even feeling like you're saying, yeah, okay, I understand that that's some type of PTSD, like from the past.
a
So
little bit.
but in it's only right for me to be okay with it if you're okay with me being poly.
Now, so you said this, and I've said this a couple
Hold on.
times to you, is with him saying I support you because you support me. I don't want you to do it just because. I want you to truly be like, I want to see you happy. I don't want you to say you're doing it just because I'm doing it. I don't think that that is you fully saying I support you if you choose to have a boyfriend or whatever. I want you to do it because that's genuinely your heart is saying I want you to be happy. Do you have your earpiece in? No, he does not. So I literally just said all of that and he can't hear me. Can you hear me?
Uh,
No.
yeah.
Did you hear everything I just said?
No, I did not.
Okay. I thought you had your earpiece in.
Oh no,
That's why I kept talking.
no. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna repeat what I said then. So my you saying I'm supporting you because you support me, I that is where the PTSD comes in because I don't want you to say I support you because you support me. I want you to say I support you because my heart wants you to be happy. And if you being with someone else makes you happy, then I wholeheartedly support that. Like I wholeheartedly support my husband having finding his happiness with someone else. Now, he has thoroughly explained to me that it's more of conversation and not so much of a sexual whatever. Will it lead to that? I believe it will. Like it's going to, but that's not his foremost reason for wanting to live a poly lifestyle. Like he just genuinely wants another person to conversate with because
And
we can.
people would be like, well, why can't it just be friends? I get that. I get that. But at the same time, it's like even friends, they have their moments where like, dag, I could definitely see myself being with that person like in a sexual state.
It doesn't even have to be sexual. It could be just I really care for this person.
Yeah.
um but that being said, baby, I don't want you to support me just because I support you. Like, I want you to be honest with your feelings and say, yes, I okay you to have a boyfriend if that should arise. I'm
Well,
okay with it.
that's I mean, that's the basis of me saying I support you. It might not be worded that way, but
But are
yeah.
you like it's so this we've had this conversation. So this isn't what we're saying. Like we talk a lot. So this isn't a brand new conversation for us. So it's repetitive to him, but it's new to y'all. But like you saying what you just said, do you hold like are you comfortable with saying I support you if that's the route you go. Because again, like you said, the PTSD, I'm like, does he really mean what he's saying, or is he just saying it because
I mean, yes, I actually mean it for the simple fact that I had to think about when we was apart. You know, granted we was apart and you was dealing with who you was dealing with. It like with being so far had the pizza cutter. So the distance or whatever, the distance between us is like she's down there with the dude, or it could have been dudes. She's down there with them, and I don't mean with them as in physically, but with them in the same it's
state?
same state. You know what I'm saying? And all the females that she's heard about, I'm up here in the same state. You know, so it's like it's nothing for her to go and whatever. So I have to be comfortable and okay in my own skin, knowing that, hey, if that's what she want to do to make her happy, then go for it. I know how to play my part and where I stand with her.
Um,
She makes me feel
so
secure enough to say that.
and that's one thing. So like moving on in a sense of I had to reflect, I had to do my own work within to even be comfortable enough to say, you know what, let's see what this poly looks like. Like, let's see if this is something that I want to do with you or if this is something that I support you. And for the most part, I was like, I'm in here with you. I was in the groups with them. I was making the posts. I was introducing myself. If anyone knows about the lifestyle or the groups, you know that you it's like an interview or whatever you want to call it. You put yourself out there and saying this is what we want, this is what we believe in, this is what our I forgot our dynamics will look like. This is the dynamic we're looking for. And so I was out there and I was like, look, this is my husband. We looking for a wife for him. Um, and it was, I would say, a rude awakening for me because it wasn't anything of what I thought it was. And so I had to even allow myself to be comfortable with being in the groups, supporting him, understanding that he's going to be going on dates with these women. He's going to potentially be intimate with these women. Like, he's going to care about these women or woman, whatever. And at that time, I was thinking women because he have a whole V going on, and I'd be over there on the mono side by myself. I was thinking two women for him, but he didn't want that. But anyways,
It's just communication because we both was like, what? Um,
yeah. But my mindset had to change. I had to reflect on me and understand, like, okay, and a lot of it came from, like he said, PTSD, a lot of the stuff in the past, but also me at that point, I had to get over not feeling like I wasn't enough. And he really had to explain to me, no, you are, but I still need more. Like, that was the breaking point for me to be like, okay, I get it. You just need more. You could have a million things. I'm going to use these shot glasses as an example, but you can have my camera, like, it'd be so weird, but you could have 1,000 of these and that wouldn't be enough. Or maybe I said that wrong. So having 1,000 versus having just one, you still feel the same. Like, it's still enough. But
it
I'm
doesn't take away from the fact that that one shot glass is still a shot glass, whether you have one or 1,000, it's still a shot glass. My relationship with my wife is still my relationship. I still love her to the moon. I still want her. I still desire her. But my relationship with her does not negate, let's say, for instance, does not negate my relationship with David. You know what I'm saying? Or Marv or whoever friend or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry.
The
I
pizza.
thought you had a yeah, I thought you had a microphone and I'm like,
But you know what I'm saying though? Like you said
no, I hear you.
you had male friends or whatever. That does not negate my relationship with you does not negate your relationship with, let's say, Eddie. You know what I'm saying? It does not negate, it does not take away, it does not diminish is take away. It does not do anything to the relationship with you and Eddie. You know what I'm saying? So so you are enough for me because this is our, where are you? This is our relationship. You know what I'm saying? But just so happen if I have another connection with somebody else, that does not dim our relationship light or whatever
Right.
have you. You know?
Yeah. Perfectly said. Um, so now we're in a place, as he mentioned, that I have a friend. Um, in the past, one no male friends at
Yeah.
all, at all, like
Get them
at
off.
all.
Get them off the. Get them off the social medias and erase out the phone books and stuff like that. Now where I'm at with it, she already know, but I'm a and I think we said it in another video, but I'm gonna re-say it now. But where we at now and where I'm at right now is that whatever male entity or friendship or whatever that's in her life, as long as they treat her how I would treat her, then it's a okay with me. But until I get wind or hear any type of disrespect, yeah, it's a problem with me. It's a problem with me for the simple fact if you're not gonna treat my woman the way I would, whether it's friend or in a relationship or whatever, you don't need to be part of it. Point blank simple.
Well, if it gets that bad, you already know. I'm cutting them off.
Right.
My
But I'm
my
saying,
cutoff
you
game
know,
is good.
like, but in the past, you would cut them off, but you wouldn't deal with them, so to speak.
Yeah,
There will always be like one cracked door or whatever have you.
true. I may block someone from my phone, but then they'll still be on my social media.
Right. Or Snapchat or, something, you know. But we living in the time and the understanding that, hey, if you're not gonna be for me, then you against me, and I don't need nobody against me because that causes friction, drama, negative vibes, and it's all positive vibes over here.
Period. So I because we're already at like 33 minutes and I honestly feel like, we're just gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Uh
But we can
so
go ahead.
so I was just gonna say like the one thing that made us where we're at now is really having strong, open, honest communication. We don't hold back anything. Like there's things that even I think it was yesterday, my husband had said something that I just was like, you that literally just upset me. We talked about it and how I don't even remember. Oh, he said I was acting like someone. He said I was acting like some similar to someone else, and I'm like, uh-uh. There's a difference, and I'm not. That's not that. But we were before we wouldn't communicate like that. We would sit on stuff
That
and
would
be
have been a
upset.
week long, week long negative
Drawn out.
vibe. Yeah,
Yeah, it would have been
ain't
drawn
nobody
out.
talking to each other. It's just you know.
I wholeheartedly believe having a strong, open, honest, blunt, direct communication is why we're at where we're at right now. Like,
Being poly makes you it. Oh, yeah, it forces you to communicate. It forces you to be transparent.
yes, transparent is key. Like, you have to be transparent. Well, not wholeheartedly, because one thing that I think I saw in the groups is like communication within in what would be his V would be, okay, am I communicating with the girl? Is he communicating with the girl? What are the is it a family group chat, or is it just between them two? And honestly, like, I'm still on the fence about it, because it's like I don't need to be in the conversations with them. I For what? I don't need to be, but if it's something where her and I are going to be friends, or let's say I get someone else and they're friends, then maybe. But transparency on that level is like, that's your relationship. I don't need to be in the mix of it.
Right. That would, I would say that would be more of a, if you was dealing with her romantically as well, like we all. But I would say, I would think that you would still want a relationship with the person just on a friend level, because hell, because I would want to. I would want to make sure, hey, you definitely got my woman's best interests at heart. Like, I need to know. I need to know you. We need to hang out.
Say it again.
We need to hang out.
No, I was being
Oh,
sarcastic. You was just putting emphasis on it.
but you know what I'm
Um,
saying though.
no, I
Like
do.
I mean, and what I would definitely like is all under one roof. You know,
Everybody,
it wouldn't hurt.
at some point, maybe.
Well, yeah, not right away. What baby, what?
I'm just messing with you.
No, you're not.
Um, no, I am. I mean, here we're off subject, but I guess it still kind of fits with the subject of jealousy and insecurity. If he decided to bring someone into the home, obviously there's going to be stirred up feelings, so to speak. But again, if you work on yourself, as I have, then jealousy and insecurity for what? If your ultimate goal is making sure that everyone is happy, then you don't care. Because for what? My Listen, I've already told him I'm not changing how I am just because you have someone else in the house. I will be walking around in my lingerie, and I'm not bi. I don't want him to have someone that's bi, because we're not even doing that. But I'm not going to diminish my light so that someone else feels secure, and I don't want someone else to diminish their light so that I feel secure. It has to be worked on within yourself on your own. So regardless if he has someone or not, I'm gonna feel comfortable in my home. If I want to walk around in lingerie, then I'm gonna walk around in lingerie, and that person should not have a problem with it. You got them as much as I got them. So if you have those type of feelings, then you need to work on yourself. Y'all need to have a conversation and fix it, and fast.
Yeah, cause that's the whole thing too. Like, it's just as much your house as it is there. Do what you want. If you're gonna cook butt naked, you should feel and be able to cook butt naked. Maybe not fry, but cook. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like,
I do.
the one thing that we Even there with you right now. The one thing I've said, I dislike the fact that I have to actually put on clothes to go to the bathroom. I'm not used to that, you know. So if we have our own place, think I ain't gonna feel want to feel comfortable? I want
No,
to,
absolutely.
you know what I'm
I
saying?
am. So, I mean, but granted, if so, I want to do another video.
Well, let's do
Um,
another video then.
let's talk more about poly and like what the environment would look like. That talk about the different dynamics and more talking about you bringing someone in. If I were to bring someone in, like, and everyone being in the household, like, as a man, and this almost applies to this topic of you. I think you even spoke on it of saying, like, questioning the one number one thing that men question is he bigger, is he better? So having another man around or in the house or me even dealing with someone else, how does that make you feel? And we've talked about this to the point where you've brought things to me and you're like, well, I've thought about you with this or whatever else, and I'm like, what? Because again, that PTSD was like you would have never in the past had
Exactly.
those type of thoughts. So I think even for you that shows growth because again though, the PTSD comes back in for me and it's like, okay, you've had those thoughts, but that's just a thought. What does it look like if it in real life, if it really were to happen? Do you still feel that same way?
And the mind is very powerful. So I really at time had to put myself in the mental state of mind that it's really going on right now. Like, how can I deal with that right now? Like, you know what? She's not on the phone with me. She's over there getting her back blown out right now by this person. How do I feel? How do I feel? How should I feel? What, like, I had to put myself many of times to think like that to get to where I'm at or how I'm thinking right now.
And I had to do the same, honestly. Like I had to, and that's part of the self reflection and awareness for me, like being aware that this is potentially going to happen. So, how do I feel knowing that he's satisfying another woman? He's pleasuring another woman, and I know how he get down. So, I'm like, do I really want to share that? In reality, I was like, no, that's all mine. But it's like, okay, but you want him happy. So, it's
And not
not just about you.
and not to mention, I thought about the same thing. I know how my wife get down. You know what I'm saying? I know I know how tight it is and all. I know what the mouth do, the hands and all that stuff. Like, regardless of right now, she's been that way with other people. Like, that's what I'm thinking. She's been that way with other people in an intimate setting. Like, my dick, my dick ain't the only one that she's touched, held, put it back in, all that stuff. You know, when you think like that, you like DMX said, if I allow that to bother me, I need to allow the past to bother me.
Right. So, I'm just like, I know how he gets down. I'm okay with it. It's fine.
Is it?
Yeah, I just said that.
So I try out moves with you and somebody else.
Not at the same time.
Not until drunken night. No, I'm just kidding.
You you keep holding on to that wishful thinking.
No, it's. I'm right now, I want to go through life experiencing all that I can, whether it's good or bad, ugly, all that. Because at the end of the day, it's all an experience.
I mean, that's why we're here to experience. So,
Hmm. And you my
um,
soulmate, so we'll see each other in the next life, all that good stuff.
absolutely.
But
We've
see, for
probably seen
even
each
me,
other
yeah.
a few
So
times.
we gonna
We
do
stayed
another
together.
video, and we'll see you on the next one.
All right, guys. Before we end this, I want to say happy Father's Day to all the kings out there, especially mine.
Yes, thank you,
Um,
baby. Today is Father's Day, so whenever you get this, today is
I'm
Father's
a, I'm
Day.
gonna upload this one today
Okay.
because we slacking. So happy Father's Day to all the kings out there. You don't get your flowers as much as you deserve. I am handing you, I don't have any flowers, but I'm handing you your flowers. Y'all deserve it. Y'all go out here, you put in the work, you put up with all this crap. You dads, stepdads, fill-in dads, uncles that play dad roles, all of y'all deserve your flowers because you don't get enough credit for all that you do. And then you have women out here that bash y'all when one thing don't go right, or y'all try and move on and be happy with someone else because they just can't accept that it's not working or they messed up and it can't be fixed. Um, Whatever the case may be, I don't believe in the bashing of the fathers because on Mother's Day ain't nobody making no posts about bad moms and bashing moms as much as is done on Father's Day. So I'm giving y'all flowers. Y'all deserve it. Happy Father's Day. And I don't think that y'all should be celebrated on one day. I think it should be every day. Y'all need to be honored more than what you are. So happy Father's Day. And just know that y'all doing it.
Told y'all I got a good one.
Get out of
All
here.
right, this Jupiter's love, and we're out. What you
What's
about?
your saying? The
Oh,
same.
don't ground your love. Make your love out of this world.